And hello, folks. Welcome back to the Law and Crime Network. I'm Michael Bryant. This is the afternoon session here. And welcome. Here we are, 4th of October already, starting to feel a little bit like it's actually fall. And so, in fact, for today and for a limited time to celebrate and commemorate this new fall season, today only, we are pumpkin spiced. So that's going to end soon, so take advantage of that. Okay, so yes, this can be interesting TV, and maybe to liven it up a bit, I'm going to read from the phone book very soon. So important stuff because we're trying to draw the connection, we being the prosecution in this case, and we're hearing from the defense attorney now for Ms. Benoit. They're trying to cut off any connection between the defendants and the Adelson / whoever contracted for the death of Dan Markel. So a little bit of a break in the action there gives me a great chance to chat with my very important guests here. I'm so happy to have along Tiffany Simmons for the first time. Thank you for joining me. She is a criminal defense attorney. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. And I know you've written some books, and I also understand you're undefeated. So we're going to get back into that in terms of your courtroom prowess. We're going to talk about that. Also with us, Byron Browne, trial attorney. The anti-lawyer lawyer is here again. Good to have you again, Byron. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let me start with this. Yes, this could be dry stuff. This could, it's in the afternoon. The jury may be starting to nod off, but put it in context for us. How important is this information, the numbers, the connections they're trying to make?
Well, it could be very important, the information. The problem is I can't follow the information that's being presented, and that's part of the attorney's job. And at this point, Meg Benoit's attorney needs to start giving the jury some direction. Hey, we're looking at these text messages. Hey, we're looking at these financials. How does it all correlate? And maybe he's going to get there, but I always think it's a trial lawyer's job to keep the attention of the jury and to make sure the jury knows where he is going. In this particular case, I don't think he's doing a very good job of keeping the jury interested and letting the jury know where he's going. So, I mean, I think it's very important and relevant information. He just needs to connect the dots for the jury.
So equally important for the prosecution to connect those dots are for the defense attorneys to, punch holes in any connection. And so Christopher DeCosta is the attorney for Catherine Benoit, and we understand from sources in the courtroom that Ms. Benoit has been amused at her attorney's cross-examination of this witness. So, Tiffany, let me just ask you that question in terms of perception. How important is it for your client, if it is a defendant in the case, to kind of maintain some decorum in front of the jury? Is it really good to be kind of amused at how your attorney is defending you?
No, that is not a good thing. The jury, they are paying attention to your mannerisms. They're paying attention to the actions of the defendant as well as the attorneys. So to laugh, to make light of what's going on in the courtroom, that is not a good sign for the defense.
So all day today we've been hearing about numbers. We heard some cell phone data early on, but then it's been all about following the money, which is critical. Again, if it's a hit for cash, then where'd the money start? Where did it end? How did it get to the defendants in this case? And I've run up some of the numbers here. It's the best I can come up with this, and I'm really trying to figure out what is the going rate to orchestrate somebody's murder. And if you believe these numbers as they relate to Catherine Benoit, remember, Sigfredo Garcia really was the trigger man according to the prosecution. So Catherine was the orchestrator, and she was willing to do it according to the prosecution for a boob job, a no-show job, some car repairs, and about 80 grand in cash sprinkled out over the course of a year. So, Byron, sounds pretty good to me. What do you think?
Hey, it always surprises me when we hear about these murder for hire cases, the least amount that the person's willing to take. In this particular case, it looks like Meg Benoit asked for quite a bit. I mean, on other cases, we've heard much less. But unfortunately, people are willing to, take the life of another person for what amounts to, in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, very little. And now her life's hanging in the balance. And I couldn't agree more. Her mannerisms within the courtroom speak volumes. So knowing that she's sitting there amused in this particular case where someone lost their life leads the jury right away to a very bad conclusion.
Yeah, it looks like they're in the courtroom, they're standing at attention. Generally, that means the jury is either on the way out or on the way in, or the judge is on the way out or in. So when they get back to action, we will join them. Quick question here, but kind of a broader concept. Let me start with you, Tiffany. People are wondering, well, why didn't this woman, Ms. Benoit, take a deal? She was offered a deal. Why didn't she take it? I get the feeling she's sitting there rolling the dice on a trial with some significant connections with money behind her, that if she is convicted, maybe then she rolls over on the family that's now possibly paying for her defense, the Adelson family. She would be the linchpin to connect them to this murder. Thoughts?
Exactly. My thoughts are, I mean, a lot of defendants, they do roll the dice. They believe their story. They believe their lies, if it's a lie. So I will say in her case, she's not doing anything that's out of the ordinary. So we'll see what happens. It'll be something to see if she rolls over on this other family.
Yeah, and I think it's going to hinge on, I'm sure the Adelsons are rooting for her acquittal, or at least something she can handle here without rolling over on them, if in fact that is the situation. So let's take a quick break. They are on a break there in the Florida case against Garcia and Magbanois. So we will come right back. This is the Law and Crime Network.